Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, what's going on with all this stuff? I mean, do we have any real clear idea of where everything is headed? Why they're doing what they're doing? Do we even know? We have some decent ideas. I don't think anyone can know exactly what's going on. But in today's video, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and I'm going to give you my opinions of what I think is going on, how it affects us, and maybe some things that we should do to counteract that. Normally I try to stick with just facts and just, little bits of my kind of, from my perspective. But today it's going to just be my opinions. And so because of that, I want to give a disclaimer because of that. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm not making any claims to the things that I'm going to say that are fact. I can't claim that at all. Some of it may be based in some facts, but in the end, it's just my opinion and what I think is going on and where I think this is going to kind of take us. So stay tuned for that. Before I get started, I want to say, if you are a coffee drinker, and I suspect that many of you are, and you are looking for a good quality coffee at a good price from a company that is like-minded, a company that you're putting your money into a place that they're not going to, push some communist propaganda or stab us all in the back by making us think that they were patriotic. I want you to check out, or at least you should consider checking out, Expedition Joe Coffee. There is a link in the description below. I've gotten to know the owners of this company really well. It's a small company. They do small batch coffee production. Number one, the quality of the coffee is amazing. It really is. It's really good. It's very fresh, and it's just a good quality of coffee. The prices are great, what you would expect to pay for this type of coffee. But again, the big thing is that they are a good, patriotic, God-fearing, preparedness-minded company. And they have offered all of the listeners here on the Prepared Homestead a 10% discount if you choose to purchase through them. And so when you go to that link in the description below, it's the first link there. When you make your order, put in the discount code PREPARE10. That's PREPARE10 as your discount code, and you'll get 10% off their coffee. And I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. In fact, the first time I tasted their coffee, or the first time we did here, my wife was like, "You need to order some more of this stuff. This is really, really good." So, and I did actually just the other day. I made another order. All right, so my opinions. My wife says I'm very opinionated, but I try to, as best I can, not to just make this channel just about my opinions. I do try to back up what I say as much as possible. But like I said in my little disclaimer, I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm just going to tell you where I'm at and how I see it. And you can take it as what you want. I'm not claiming to be correct at all. For starters, where I'm coming from all this, it's based on some facts, some things that I can't prove that are factual or not. There probably are, but there may be rumors or, different things from different places that I'm getting my information that I can't, without a shadow of a doubt tell you that it's true. Some of it is just my life experience and my knowledge of history, American and from other nations also. And then also, these opinions are based on talking with many of you. Just in the last few days, I've had numerous conversations. Last night was on like a conference call type thing with several of you. We talked till quite late. And so a lot of what I'm saying today is based on all of those things. So, well, what's going on with all of this? Stepping back, I've said this before, sometimes you have to step back and not get so, tunnel vision focused on one incident that's happened. That's one little thing that's happening. You just step back and look at the greater picture and see how it's all connected. One of the things that I think is happening when you step back and look at the greater picture, I truly believe, as much as this may sound a little crazy to some of you, I truly believe there is a a very specific purpose and goal in crashing our economy, crashing our society, crashing it all. I can't really see it any other way. I've thought this for actually several years now, and then in the last 18 months, of course, that's just been, to me, proven that that my idea of this has been probably correct. When you look at all the things that are going on, not just with the lockdowns and the health crisis and the election debacle and Afghanistan and the crazy hyper spending and all that, but then you also look at the stuff that's happening in just the social realms of the destruction of the American family, the destruction of morality, the destruction of truth, the destruction of masculinity and the innocence of children. All that is being destroyed on a level and at a rate that I don't think any of us not only has ever seen, but could have ever imagined was going to happen at this speed. The stuff that's coming out on a daily basis is absolute insanity. I can't put it in any other words, at least no other words that's G-rated for this channel. It is absolute insanity, folks. The stuff that people are saying about their gender, about how to raise a child, about what morality means, about, femininity and masculinity and all the 5 million different, versions of whatever in between on this grand spectrum now that they claim that exists. It's absolute insanity. I believe that it probably stems from the last several decades of the quality of schooling and indoctrination that's been done in the public school system, from the media, Hollywood media, music media, TV, movies, all that kind of stuff, the brainwashing, indoctrination, the dumbing down of America. I believe it probably also is due to the amount of just chemicals that's been put into our body through the foods that we eat, the medicines that we take, the shots that we take, or that some people take, and the stuff that they spray around in the air. I think it's all coming to a head, and we're seeing the results of all of that with a generation, and not just a generation, but with a society that seems to be completely incapable of simple critical thinking skills. They're so brainwashed and blinded with this cognitive dissonance that whatever they're told by someone important, they do. It doesn't matter how absolutely insane it is that they what they're being told. They just do it. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. And I believe that there's been a goal involved of doing this. They want to dumb us down. They want to break down every barrier in America, every foundation that has been this way since our founding. They want to destroy it. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I believe that they're also wanting to destroy our economy. If you look at what's just happened in the last 18 months, economically, look at what's happened with our supply chains and our food and the shipping and the amount of people that aren't being able to work, whether they're not able to work because it's, they just can't, or they're choosing not to because they're, getting checks to them in the mail. The fact is that we've had a major supply chain breakdown, and we've talked about this numerous times on this channel. And it's getting worse. And now all of a sudden, right when it's at that point that it could either get better or worse, but it's certainly getting worse. Now we're going to issue this mandate that could very well cause many people to make a choice whether to go to work or not, or make a choice of whether to fire them or not. And some of the polling that's come out since these new mandates show that about 40%, and this is one of those polls that I don't have the exact proof of, but it comes from a good source, Ice Age Farmer, that 40% of the people that don't have this say that they are willing to risk losing their job to not get it. 40%. So if we take that number, even a good portion of that number, and they no longer in the workforce, how much more damage is going to be caused to the supply chain system, to the entire workforce, to the economy of America as a whole? It's going to be devastating. Adding to that with the amount of people that's getting kicked out of their homes, losing their mortgages, they're getting kicked out of their rental properties, people getting cut off from unemployment. A lot of it's happening all at once, and I do believe that it's going to have some drastic negative effects to our economy and our supply chain. Even the CEO of Walmart just a couple of days ago said that they have had some serious supply chain problems, and they expect it to continue and to worsen well into the 2022. So it's only going to get worse. I believe what they're doing with the whole shot thingy, it is to tear us apart. It's to break down the nation. It's to destroy us. It's to push along and further along the collapse of our civilization. I believe that the reasons why is to usher in this, what we've called before on here, the Great Reset. And that's not us calling that. It's not me calling that. That's them. That's their words. This Build Back Better, Great Reset, Agenda 2030, all these UN initiatives. That's their words. And even as recently as yesterday, the UN secretary was saying that basically, in paraphrasing, that the only way to fix all this is by, these great changes that the UN is working on. And so I believe that a lot of this is to specifically tear us down, to break us down and bring us to our knees as a nation and as a people, so that all of this new fourth industrial revolutions, reset, great changes in global governance can actually take hold. And it would be perfect for it a perfect time for it to happen. I also believe that what we're seeing with these reset mandates, and there's expect to see more. In fact, it was in the news. I think I will put this one up. It was in the news this morning that the administration is expected to issue even more mandates and regulations ahead of the upcoming UN Security Council meeting. So expect more. We all knew that. I think what this is this is an attack on you and I. The obvious reason for thinking that is that the president himself made it very clear that people that don't have this, we're now the enemy. We are the enemy. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're putting the fence back up at the Capitol. There's been more and more increased talk of all this possible, especially since yesterday was 9/11. The possible homegrown terrorists, even, the former president, George W. Bush, was comparing domestic terrorists and people that resist the government, comparing them to the people that the Al-Qaeda that they claim took down the towers on 9/11. And I won't go off into that conspiracy in this video. Anyways, what I believe that they're doing is not so much trying to cause what a lot of people would say a civil war, where the states would do what they're doing now, kind of, stand up, or at least try to show a little bit of resistance to this. What they're trying to do is they're trying to separate you and I. They want us to resist this. They want that. They know that they put these things in place. They know that folks like you and I aren't going to get it. They know that there's nothing that they can do to force us to get it, next to putting us in complete physical confinement and doing it completely against our will. And so what they're doing is they're trying to force our hand. They're trying to push us into the corner to get us to react. They want a reaction. They want a reaction that's even probably worse than what we saw on January 6th. They want it to be at least bad enough to be shocking, but not so bad that it's actually successful. So I believe that's what we're seeing with this, and I believe the more of these mandates and regulations and all this kind of stuff that we see happen over the next few months, that's what they're doing. They're trying to divide us and conquer us by causing someone or a group of someones to do something. And again, I don't have any proof of that, but that's my gut feeling. So how do we react to all this? Because there's more, I could go on and on talking like this and giving you some more ideas, and maybe I will in other videos. But how do we combat this? Well, there's all the obvious reasons and things that you can do that I talk about all the time. You know, prepping, stocking up, training, moving to a location that's, you know, more sustainable and safer, all that kind of stuff. You know, and we talk about that a lot on this channel, and I'll continue to talk about it in the future. But one thing you can also do is don't let them kill your spirit. They want us to live in fear, and they want us to look like we're the bad guy. They want us to look like we're angry and that we're fearful, and they want us to fit into the mold that they're trying to create for us, and we can't allow that to happen. They want us to be angry at others that have gotten it. They want us to create that division and fight, and we got to stop doing that. If the other side, the left, they want to be that way, that's on them. But you and I, we need to show a caring and loving spirit as much as possible. I believe. Some of you may disagree with me, but I believe we need to do that. We need to show that we're not afraid of what's going on. We're not afraid of this illness. And even if we do get it, you know, we get it. And we do our best to overcome it, just like any other illness that anyone would ever get. That we're not going to live in fear, especially to the point that we're willing to give up our God-given rights. And in doing so, we're also not going to treat others like they're trash, treat others like they're second-class citizens. We're not going to do to them what they do to us. And I think that that's something that we should really try to do. For those of you that are believers in the book, like I am, believe in the Father in heaven, you should know that our main and really only purpose in this world is to be a light into the world. And I know that maybe not all of you believe this, but it still is good for you to hear it. So just listen. Bear with me. I'm not preaching at you. Our goal is to be a light in this world. Some of us may choose, because of our convictions and beliefs, to be a spiritual light in this world. And even if you don't believe that way, you can still be a moral light in this world. And so don't let them beat you down that way. Don't allow them to win, because as much as this is a spiritual war and some level of a physical kind of battle, this is also very psychological. And we all know that. We've talked about this, that this is psychological warfare. Don't allow them to win psychologically. Keep your chin up, okay? Keep your mood as high as you can, and be as positive as you can, and treat others kindly, and show mutual respect to your fellow brother and sister, and show them that we're not afraid of this, that we don't prepare and live out in the woods and farm and all that kind of stuff because we live in terror and fear of what's going on. We do this because we believe it's the moral high ground for us to do. But it doesn't mean that we look down upon other people that don't live like this or don't think or believe like we do. They want to break us down. They want us to look like this evil bad guy. They want to continue pushing this idea that everyone else hates those of us that are resisting this totalitarian style of government that we have in this country. They want us to look like the bad guy, that because we're not globalists, that we're the bad guy. Don't let them win in that way. And do everything you can to be positive, and to know that that we still can and will in the long run win over this, especially if you believe in the good book. So folks, again, this is all just my ideas, but I do think that there's something bigger to this. It's not about getting everyone their little thing in there so you don't get sick. It's not about all this other stuff that we've heard about at times from the mainstream press or from their own mouths. It's about dividing us and breaking us down and destroying us. They want the economy to fail so that they can bring in a digital new currency. And when they do that, then they don't have to necessarily worry about some type of, passport thing. They just control your money that way anyways. So there's probably a lot more stuff coming down the line. Even in just a few days from the president's speech, there's already things that's being talked about, restrictions on travel and even more. So expect to see more. Expect things to worsen, but live in a positive and loving way as you can, and know that it's not over yet, that we can still win and we will survive this because we're prepared to do that. All right, folks, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.